Today's episode of the More You Know podcast is brought to you by CrowdQuestion, a brand new social communication platform focused on connecting crowds to bring everyone closer to their community, as well as enhancing any occasion. Rather than being a social media platform focused on content and advertising, they're focused on communication and connection. Learn more about the platform and download the app free at crowdquestion.com.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
Today's
More
You
No
podcast.
Today I want to share Chris Herren's journey to significance. So Chris's journey really kicked off when he attended BMC Durfee High School in Fall River, Massachusetts, from 1990 to 1994. There was a family legacy of playing basketball at the school. His father, grandfather, older brother, and 3 uncles all played basketball there. Throughout the 4 years from 1990 to 1994, Chris scored 2,073 points, which was the most career points in school history. During his senior year, he began gaining notoriety. He was named the Boston Globe and Gatorade Player of the Year, and he was also a McDonald's All-American, which is one of the highest high school basketball honors. And during his senior year, Chris was even a central figure in a book about the Durfee High School basketball team, entitled Fall River Dreams. After graduating high school as a top basketball prospect, he turned down offers from the University of Kentucky and Duke University to instead play at his local Boston College. And for those of you who don't know, Kentucky and Duke are arguably the 2 best schools to play for. Upon entering Boston College, Herren received a lot of hype, and he was featured in multiple magazines including the Rolling Stone and Sports Illustrated. But unfortunately, before even playing, he failed a drug test for marijuana and cocaine. Then in his first game for Boston College, he scored 14 points in 21 minutes, but ended up breaking his wrist, and was ruled out for the entire rest of the season. Then within 3 months of the injury, he failed 2 more drug tests for marijuana and cocaine, which ended with him being expelled from the school. After being kicked out, he then transferred to Fresno State and had to sit out a year. Then during his first season playing with the team after sitting out a year, he averaged 17.5 points per game, and then also unfortunately shortly after the season, failed another drug test. He then had to go to a rehabilitation center for 28 days, and then was allowed to rejoin the team. After that, during his senior season, he once again gained notoriety for the right reasons, scoring 29 points against Duke in a nationally televised game. During his time with Fresno State, he averaged 15 points and 5 assists. From here he then entered the NBA draft, and he was selected by the Denver Nuggets with the 33rd pick in the second round. During his first season with Denver, he didn't play very much. In the following year, he was a member of the Boston Celtics, and got his first NBA start. Unfortunately, after only 25 games, he was released from the team and his NBA journey was over, and this was largely due to getting hooked on painkillers like Oxycontin, Vicodin, and Percocets. From here, he began traveling the world playing basketball in various countries, and struggling with substance abuse the whole time. Then after retiring from playing professional basketball and being back in the United States, he was charged with possession of heroin in 2007. Then the following year in June of 2008, he overdosed on heroin in his hometown and crashed into a utility pole. According to paramedics, he had been dead for 30 seconds. Luckily, within 2 months, he became sober and he's been sober ever since. And from here he was focused on changing his life and making a difference in the world. He started a player development company to mentor players on and off the court. He had a documentary aired on ESPN based on his career and drug-related issues, and began traveling the United States sharing his story through what he calls Herren Talks. He's spoken to over 1 million students, athletes, and community members, focusing on the topics of substance abuse and wellness. He's also founded the Herren Project and Herren Wellness. The Herren Project helps people find drug treatment and supports them with their addiction. And Herren Wellness is a residential in-house program focused on guiding men and women through the process of self-discovery. Chris Herren had incredible potential, and as a teenager was a hometown hero. He received the greatest high school basketball awards, and had scholarship offers from the best schools. He then let drugs get in the way of his college career, and was given a second chance in the NBA. He then ruined that second chance with substance abuse once again. From here he tried to find his way playing basketball in different countries, but was still hindered by his addiction, and he eventually hit rock bottom, being arrested and overdosing within 1 year. He luckily survived though, and then from here was inspired to improve his life and change the world. He then began speaking at schools, mentoring athletes, and helping adults with their addiction. And over a 9-year span, he's spoken to over 1 million students, and has transformed many people's lives. To me, this is an incredible story of crafting a life of significance, and showing that you can overcome great adversity, as well as falling from a pedestal and making a difference in this world. I hope this talk makes a positive impact in your life. Please subscribe to the podcast wherever you are listening or watching it. Check out other episodes. Leave a review. Follow the podcast on social media at More You Know Pod. And sign up for Crowd Question to ask me questions about the episode. Again, thank you for listening as we propel through podcasting with the More You Know.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
The
More
You
No
Podcast.